What are the top 10 biggest economies in the world? In this video, we will be looking at the top 10 economies of the world by GDP. Before proceeding further, let's find out about the GDP and GDP per capita. GDP, or Gross Domestic Product, is the total monetary value of all goods and services produced and sold within a country during a specific time period, typically 1 year. Now, once you divide this number by the number of full-time residents in a country, you get an idea of how rich or poor a country's general populace is. So, let's start the video of top 10 largest economies in the world by GDP. On the 10th position, we have Canada. Canada's GDP is $2,122 billion US. GDP per capita in Canada is $53.25 thousand US. Canada's economy is market-based, with robust sectors in the automotive and other manufacturing industries, forest products, minerals, and petroleum. Number 9 on the list is Brazil. Brazil's GDP is $2,132 billion US. GDP per capita in Brazil is $10.41 thousand US. Brazil is a prominent emerging market and one of the world's largest energy producers. Its economy comprises robust manufacturing, agriculture, and service sectors, contributing to its thriving society. Number 8 on the list is Italy. Italy's GDP is $2,190 billion US. GDP per capita in Italy is $37.15 thousand US. Italy attracts foreign investment with its attractive domestic market, access to European Union markets, research centers of excellence, and highly qualified workforce. On the 7th position, we have France. France's GDP is $3,052 billion US. GDP per capita in France is $46.32 thousand US. France's refined gastronomy and wines are synonymous with its medieval cities, alpine communities, and Mediterranean beaches. Reputable classical art museums, such as the Louvre, and monuments like the Eiffel Tower and Lion Roman Theatre, attest to the country's lengthy and illustrious history. On the 6th position, we have United Kingdom. United Kingdom's GDP is $3,332 billion US. GDP per capita in United Kingdom is $48.91 thousand US. At its peak, Britain encompassed 1/4 of the globe. Today, it remains a highly developed nation with considerable economic, political, and cultural influence on a global scale. 5th position on the list is India. India's GDP is $3,730 billion US. GDP per capita in India is $2.61 thousand US. India's economy has been the fastest growing among the world's major economies, reflecting its dynamic growth. 10 years ago, it would have placed 10th on our list with a nominal GDP of $1.85 trillion. By 2028, it is predicted to have the third biggest global economy at $5.6 trillion. On the 4th position, we have Germany. Germany's GDP is $4,430 billion US. GDP per capita in Germany is $52.82 thousand US. Germany is the biggest economy in Europe and the main economic power within the Eurozone. Like Japan, the German economy is largely highly skills-based. The country is a major exporter of cars, chemicals, and technology. Germany's economy is predicted to shrink this year, before returning to 1% growth next year. Japan stands on the 3rd position in the list. Japan's GDP is $4,231 billion US. GDP per capita in Japan is $33.95 thousand US. Japan is a prominent producer of automobiles and electronic equipment worldwide. Japan's economy isn't growing at the rate of its bigger rivals. In fact, it is almost $1 trillion smaller in 2023 than it was 10 years ago. Nevertheless, Japan continues to work toward economic growth. China is the world's second-largest economy in the world. China's GDP is 17,786 billion US. GDP per capita in China is 12.54 thousand US. China's economy has witnessed remarkable growth over the past few decades. If it continues to grow at this pace, it will reach to the top position and become the world's biggest economy at some point by the year 2050. Much of China's recent growth has arrived as it opens its economy to the world. It is the world's biggest exporter, with a massive manufacturing industry. On the top position of world's largest economy in the world is United States of America. U.S.A.'s GDP is 26,954 billion US. GDP per capita in U.S.A. is 80.41 thousand US. U.S.A. has been the dominant world power for multiple decades in services sector, including technology, retail, finance, and healthcare, contributes significantly, accounting for around 80% of the country's total output. In addition, its highly developed infrastructure supports a business-friendly environment and provides access to highly educated labor. So, that's it in this video. Please subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos.